China's first all-solid-state lithium battery production line, officially put into production. See headlines like this? Did you have a sense of time travel like me? Even more, there was suspicion again and again. It's really not something that's used for such a gimmick, is it? What about this video? Let's continue talking about all-solid-state batteries, right at the big factory, when they solved the technical problem of blocking buildings. What about this company in Beijing called Tunli New Energy? It has been achieved first, mass production of all-solid-state TVs. Don't doubt it, this is indeed the whole card. But here's the thing, it's not a glass angel that can be conquered, but applied to the possibility of generating and two-wheelers. Because it's the same as the all-solid-state we know, there is a difference. Why do you say it can't be loaded? This is obviously because of the performance of this battery, not up to the car-grade standard. So what about the biggest specialty of them all? Is it this magnification? Relatively poor. The fast charging and fast release capability of electric vehicles cannot be supported. And what about the ploidy of lithium batteries? It mainly depends on the ionic conductivity of the electrolyte. That is to say, just the sweet process of the bitter melon I ate that day. Couples are difficult to migrate. What about the computer rate? It directly determines the rear screen speed. Then especially this charging speed. It will bring a more obvious somatosensory impact to users. And that's the problem of being able to electrify with an EC. What about bag filmmaking at the moment? It can be divided into organic and tiers. So organic is this polymer electrolyte, and the inorganic is too barren, stream barren and melted. Come and see, insects. Oxide or sulfide? Is it the foundation of the three major mainstreams? We are still there, engraved iron book. So what about these three roots? Their ionic computer rate. In fact, they rise sequentially. He knew that Nadong was commonly found in the house system. Among them, there are some formulas for this vulcanized martial arts. It's achievable. It's transcendent. The tongue is too small. Business model. Classic. It's about 10 minus 2s to 10 minus 3s. Siemens per centimeter. What about this one? Can you use it as a reference? And the solid state has many years. What about the terrifying ion computer rate? About 10 pieces of junk. 2 10 negative square Siemens per centimeter? Oxides are 10 to the 6 to the 3. What about sulfides? It goes from 10 to the 4th to the 2nd. These are the ion computer rates under the market. Please do not refer to... And what, actually? The level of the only root? Does it follow the specific formula and temperature? It matters a lot. But, on the whole, these three are lower than the level of current liquid-ion batteries. Then the seat is also all-wax batteries. It is the seat of Wuhua nationality Northeast Battery. And this time, what about building a technological new energy for the first time in an all-solid-state industry? Adopted. It's polymer cinema, and matches the iron phosphate with the positive electrode and the graphite negative electrode. And what about this electrolyte? It is currently in the solid electrolyte, the one with the lowest reversal rate from here, much lower than the level of the liquid system. So, he can't achieve a good shelter from the rain. It also misses the power battery. What about animals? Let's open up a little bit. It's time for me to say that Giant Red Eye also knows. He's actually suffering, one kind. It's called the solid monkey. One is called the gel monkey. I don't know. I have both. Confidential. The difference is, the solid polymer is directly added inside to coat it. Eat! What about the foam of the gel? The structure of the liquid electrolyte is also added. So the latter is not a solid-state battery. This polymer with Seiko. You have to match it with a diaphragm to make a lithium battery. And why did you choose the Giant Mother Dew tablet? Because its machinability is very good. When I'm in physical chemistry, it can match the positive for one very well. Fit! Press fit. So at least from a production process perspective, the threshold is relatively low. But what about oxides? In recent years, because this is more sleepy. At present, it is difficult to stand alone as a ship's solid state. Low-end options? So, what about this sulfide? The problem lies in cost and supply, even the whole technical level. There may be many details that need to be further verified. The experience involved in the entire industrial chain. Of course there are not snakes, dogs, and elephants there. So, this time, the so-called French fries all-solid-state battery mass production line. It produces solid-state polymer batteries. Then this battery can completely eliminate the liquid composition. So, it has an ion computer, which is a little bit bigger than a battery. It's not as good as the other gel. So, that being the case, this is a very harmonious all-solid-state battery. What is the value of its existence? If you look at it from an energy density perspective, since the manufacturer does not provide external data at present, So we can't make a judgment. But I guess if he pulls the density, if the performance is more prominent, my manufacturers, so for now, can be speculated. The current energy density of this battery may not match people's expectations for all solid state. But what? It should exceed liquid batteries of the same type. After all, this solid-state film system, what about his app? It is also true that the diaphragm and liquid composition are eliminated. How extravagant I am in this support in sports. Then, among them, especially this bodysuit density, it must have improved. So I'm really cycled. There are no public mountain numbers either, so it's hard to count. And from media interviews, fire. The manufacturer emphasizes safety. That one. I think it should be the main selling point at present, because regardless of this energy density, since it is all solid state, then it wins. Safe shaping. Also, as a battery, it's safer than liquid systems. What about this one? It does solve a pain point, include requirements. So you can think gold polymer, all solid state battery. It's a safer battery. But if Chang'an comes to see, I don't think the manufacturer can boast this route. It is also equivalent to avoiding the competition of big factories. Open up a news market. Because driving your time, I promote high technology. It means power. This large lithium battery company. What about what he developed? They are all at the forefront of the industry. So what they're fighting for is, so what about polymer-based all-solid? It's also stuck to a specific need. Have it. And even though this kind of battery, it is temporarily not qualified as a power battery. What? This doesn't mean that he has no chance in the future. Because as the cost of battery raw materials continues to decline, and power lock, this entry level for battery life and charging and discharging, what about less demanding electric vehicles? Is entirely possible. Solid-state batteries using this polymer. Because what about any technical route? In fact, the research has not stopped. Then consume poly, complex electrolyte. It provides fire, cross-linking. What about strategies like copolymerization to optimize the construction of the wing from the 3 levels of the polymer to improve the computer rate, or rather, aggregate to provide computers? For example, by introducing silicon dioxide, inert materials such as carbonate wire, to adjust the flexibility of this polymer, reduce crystallinity, indirect splitting height, female splenic sac. Take another example. Through time, introduce oxide electrolyte. Active materials such as nanoparticles can be used too. It's been good. So anyway, he still has room for improvement. And it's not small. And this first mass production iteration became the Titan. In fact, it takes the method of combining organic and inorganic. That is, the polymer is doped with inorganic sweeteners to improve electrical conductivity. Therefore, it can be satisfied. Dinosaurs and two-wheelers. So in the understanding of solid-state batteries, I says, only one electrolyte can make mistakes. Then the most likely pattern is coexistence of multiple electrolytes, adapted to different markets and scenarios. Yes, it is not used as a power battery at this stage. Can put this polymer into a whole battery. It also has a big sound surface, particularly interchangeable electrons. It's a pretty big market. For example, a power bank is completely fine. So when it comes to charging babies, I know a manufacturer. The Fix-C plan has already started. I will bring you detailed reports in the future. I am Alan. Thanks for watching.